We all knew this was going to happen at some point. Like, Elon Musk has been talking about Bitcoin for a while now. He changed his Twitter bio to say hashtag Bitcoin. He spoke about it on the Clubhouse app. And now Tesla announced that they are buying $1.5 billion in Bitcoin. They already bought it. And they plan to accept Bitcoin as a method of payment in the future. So on Monday, February 8th, 2021, Tesla announced in an SEC filing that they bought $1.5 billion of Bitcoin, and CEO Elon Musk, he's been credited a lot lately for the hype and the surge in Bitcoin's price. Bitcoin is now well over $40,000, and Dogecoin has seen a massive rise recently. Elon Musk consistently posts about Dogecoin. He says it's really like a joke. The whole Dogecoin cryptocurrency was made as a meme in the first place, and it would be ironic if it's the cryptocurrency of the future and like the cryptocurrency of the world in the future. But a lot of people are questioning now, with Elon Musk talking a lot about Bitcoin, if he was really, hinting at the fact that Tesla was going to be buying it. We've all known for a while now that Elon Musk has been a supporter of Bitcoin, and if any company, any major company was going to be the first to get into Bitcoin, it was going to be Tesla, and now they have officially gotten into that. They said that they will accept payments in a limited basis for now, subject to applicable laws, and they're just going to slowly get into it, but they need to have a substantial amount of Bitcoin on their balance sheet, because if they're going to start accepting payments that way, they needed to have that money. The $1.5 billion is actually a lot of money for Tesla, because at the end of 2020, they had announced they had $19 billion in cash and cash equivalents on hand. So $1.5 billion is actually like a little less than 10% of the amount they had on their balance sheet in cash. So that's a pretty substantial amount, as their first move into Bitcoin. So I have to see what happens here. But interestingly enough, Elon Musk did just take hashtag Bitcoin off of his bio on Twitter. It's no longer there. I don't know if it's because the SEC or people are getting upset that Elon Musk has been promoting Bitcoin while Tesla was also buying it. So we don't know for sure why he took that down, but we'll have to wait and see. And I think that Tesla buying Bitcoin will lead a lot of companies in the future to do the same. I think he just got the ball rolling, and now we're going to see many companies do this moving forward. One company that a lot of people are now talking about that could potentially move into this space, buy Bitcoin, is Apple. Top RBC analysts, they came out and said that Apple should follow in Tesla's footsteps by getting into the cryptocurrency market, buying Bitcoin at the very minimum. They said that Apple could create a sizable new market for growth, generating over $40 billion in annual revenue for the company with limited to no R&D expense at all. They said that all they would have to do is create and develop their Apple Wallet into a crypto exchange. So developing their Apple Wallet into a crypto exchange is what a lot of companies have already previously done. Companies like Square, PayPal, and other companies already have their own exchanges, and they've validated this model already. So Apple wouldn't be the first, but they definitely could be the largest. So Square generates over $1 billion in revenue from their crypto business and having this exchange. So Apple having significantly more users than Square, than PayPal, they would easily be able to generate close to $40 billion a year in revenue from just getting into the crypto space. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But right now, as more institutions start getting into Bitcoin, we're going to continue to see the price skyrocket because there is a limited supply of Bitcoin. There is only 22 million coins in existence that will ever be mined. So as these large institutions start pouring more money into Bitcoin, we're definitely going to see the price continue to rise. And one thing to keep in mind for some specific numbers is that Apple's install base is 1.5 billion, and they're about 6.6 times larger than Square. So that is why it makes a lot of sense for them to move into making their own crypto exchange, turning the Apple Wallet into a crypto exchange, because they could generate that revenue, and it really would not cost them a lot to do that. It is a huge opportunity. $44 billion in revenue a year is no small amount, and something they should definitely consider. And if we do see Apple go into this space, I think we'll easily see Bitcoin take off from where it is, because Tesla, we saw it make Bitcoin rise 10% in a single day after the announcement. If Apple got into it, Apple's the largest company in the world, well then that'll be pretty significant for Bitcoin. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. One stock we've been talking about a lot on my channel is Palantir. And Palantir just announced a partnership, a deal with IBM. And this is a massive deal because Palantir currently, what this deal is going to do is this partnership will allow IBM to dramatically expand the reach of Palantir's Salesforce, while also making IBM's own artificial intelligence software easier to use for non-technical customers. The way the partnership works is that Palantir will gain access to a sales team of more than 2,500 people from IBM, which is so much larger than their current sales team, which is only 30 people. So from going from a 30-person sales team to a 2,500-person sales team, that's going to be massive. And in this deal, IBM is going to be essentially selling Palantir software to their customers. So IBM's existing customer base, they're going to be offering Palantir and their software to them. So what it says is reselling Palantir's software to augment the data and AI tools that IBM already offers and make them easier for people to use was a natural fit, according to IBM's senior vice president of software and data. So essentially they already have a product. IBM already has their own software, but they're going to leverage Palantir's technology, sell that to their customers, so then it can be easier for IBM's customers to use. And the more that they sell, the more money that Palantir makes. So this caused Palantir's stock price to jump about 10 to 15% in a single day. Palantir has been on a massive run lately. What I really like about this company is that, first of all, above everything else, ARK Invest is heavily invested in them. That shouldn't alone make you invest in it, but it's a good sign. The second thing is that they have a lot of government contracts. They've been working with large government organizations on secret projects. They work with the Navy, the Air Force, and governments all over the world. They also have been working with large corporations. They're expanding that part of their business as well. And recently, they had a demo day where they showed investors and customers and people how their software actually works, which is really important because Palantir had been a pretty secretive company before this. But now, with this demo day, people understand it a bit more. Now they're having large government contracts, and this IBM deal was their largest deal that they have ever had. They said that this partnership is the largest of its kind for Palantir, but according to Palantir, they said that there's a lot more of these to come. They said this is the biggest partnership they've announced up until this point, but that people should expect more. And that's pretty exciting because Palantir has been on a lot of people's radars. It has a very high valuation, but it seems like they're going to continue to back up their valuation with larger and larger contracts and bigger partnerships. So it'll be exciting to see where Palantir goes. I think it could easily reach $100 per share over the next couple of years, and especially at the rate it's going with government contracts, partnerships with organizations, and just the way AI is going to be integrated into businesses in the future. I don't know if you guys seen this yet, but there's a new startup app that has been pretty under the radar lately. Hasn't been launched, but Mark Cuban is co-founding a podcast app where hosts can talk to fans live and monetize their conversations. So with the rise in Clubhouse app, which we've seen Elon Musk appear on, we've seen Mark Zuckerberg appear on it, now this audio space is starting to heat up a bit, and Mark Cuban wants to get involved with it. And Mark Cuban, he is co-founder of a startup app called Fireside. They're planning to launch it, and it is a next-generation podcast platform that facilitates conversation. And the way it works is it's similar to Clubhouse, but they're really trying to make it a social media platform where rather than just, like on YouTube, and what you're watching now, where I'm just talking to you guys. They want to make it more of a conversation. So if it's a social media platform where it's not just one person telling their ideas, shouting their ideas out to other people, but they want to make it so everyone can actually communicate in real time about a certain topic or what is going on in that specific podcast episode. So they're trying to make social media that's more interactive. It's similar to like a YouTube Live, but it's like going live on YouTube with audio. So it's like anyone who's in the chat also can talk with you, which is pretty cool. Startup has been around for a little while now. It's been in stealth mode, and they started posting job postings back in September of 2020. They've been working behind the scenes since then. They've raised multi-million-dollar seed round, and they're really focusing on how to monetize the platform, how like creators can make money from going on these platforms. Because right now, Clubhouse, from what I am familiar with it so far, there's no way for the creators, the people who start the chat rooms, to actually make money from it. If there is, let me know in the comments. I'd be, pretty interesting to see what they do. From what I know right now, they don't have any monetization platform for creators on Clubhouse, and Fireside is looking to do that. They're looking to focus on making like a YouTube platform with audio on both sides. So it'll be pretty interesting to see how this plays out. Mark Cuban, he has been in the audio space before, and having him as a co-founder, it's a pretty big deal for any company, especially with all the reach he has from Shark Tank, from his previous businesses, and all of his other ventures he has going on right now. So I have to wait and see how that plays out. I don't know if you guys saw the Super Bowl. Hundreds of millions of people did, but Reddit, when I was watching it, I saw a brief 5-second commercial from Reddit. And what happened was Reddit bought a 5-second Super Bowl spot celebrating GameStop and the underdog. They said that the underdogs can accomplish anything when they come together around a common idea. And really, this just flashed on the screen for a couple of seconds. It was impossible to read the whole thing. But what it says is, wow, this actually worked. If you're reading this, it means our bet paid off. Big game spots are expensive, so we couldn't buy a full one. But we were inspired and decided to spend our entire marketing budget on 5 seconds of airtime. One thing we learned from our communities last week with GameStop is that underdogs can accomplish just about anything when they come together around a common idea. And it goes on to say a little bit more. But this is pretty exciting for GameStop because we hadn't seen anything like this. A lot of times, smaller companies are not involved in Super Bowl commercials at all because they are so expensive. But this is pretty exciting for the stock market, for Reddit, for retail investors who are all pushing for GameStop and AMC, and the people who drove this massive short squeeze. It's just a pretty big moment for them. So this is sort of what it looked like. Let's take a look at it. It really just like jumps in between a commercial or two commercials. And it was just pretty exciting to see that what has been going on in the stock market with GameStop and AMC, and Reddit now has been getting a lot of traction because of it, Wall Street bets. And we'll continue to see what happens in the future. Are we going to see more short squeezes? Are there going to be more regulations put in place? But either way, this is a big deal for Reddit and like the underdogs and retail investors. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. So the Clubhouse app, I spoke about this in our last episode, in episode number 3. We spoke a lot about Clubhouse, how it seemed like it was going to get banned in China. It just didn't fit what, like multiple times in the past, there have been apps similar to Clubhouse, and it seemed like it was going to get banned. And officially now, the Clubhouse app is blocked in China. Clubhouse is an audio-only social media app, and we spoke about the other day how it's like uncensored. People could talk about anything they want, any topics they want in a group with people from all over the world. And right now, before Monday, on February 8th, 2021, when I'm filming this, people in China were able to access the Clubhouse app. They could either log into the App Store from like a different country, or they could still download it. But now, whenever someone in China tries to open the app, there's an error message that says an SSL error has occurred and a secure connection to the server cannot be made. And this is according to thousands of Clubhouse app users who are in China, and we haven't heard any official message yet from Clubhouse app of what's going on, or the Apple Store, or from China. But all we do know is that people are getting this error message, and it appears like it is officially blocked. And on top of all this, it seems like China is cracking down even more now than they ever have on any technology that challenges how the government controls society. And this isn't really anything new. They've done this in the past with Facebook and Instagram and other apps, but it is interesting to see that as soon as this app starts to gain traction, they did already block it. People are getting these error messages on their screen. Speaking of Clubhouse app, we all saw that Elon Musk, he had probably the most popular chat room on the Clubhouse app since it was ever started. If the spots filled up immediately, there's 5,000 person limit on a chat room in Clubhouse. But Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg also appeared on the Clubhouse app. He joined a chat room sort of out of a surprise, and he spoke about VR and AR in the future. In the chat, Mark Zuckerberg, he said that VR and AR let people appear more present than just like video chatting on Zoom. He said like Zoom is great, allows people to connect, but his goal, we've heard him talk about this many times in the past, is to make it that people have a more like real interaction. And he says with VR and AR, you can do that. Zuckerberg appeared on a show in the Clubhouse app called The Good Time Show, which is hosted by Sriram Krishnan, a general partner at venture capital firm Andreessen Horowitz. He spoke a lot about AR and VR technology, how Facebook, they've been working a lot. They've been spending billions of dollars on this technology in the future because they are trying to be a leader in that space. But it shows that the Clubhouse app, has a lot of credibility now. There have been a lot of big names, a lot of big people talking about this app going on and appearing on the app as well. So I think we're going to continue to see Clubhouse app grow. And I think that everyday people like having access to potentially be able to join a room with Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerberg or these major names, and they could talk to them, or at least be in the chat room, hear what they're having to say. And while there are a limited number of spots for each room, so it's only 5,000, people I think like having that opportunity, like having that discussion with these big names in real time. So it'll be exciting to see how Clubhouse continues to grow and develop over the next couple of months. If we see other big names on there, I'm sure we will. It'll be interesting to see who is next. Just a couple days ago, we did speak about Apple's autonomous vehicle, their new car that they are working on. It was reported that they were in talks with Hyundai and Kia, and that they were going to be building a factory in West Point, Georgia, that, it was going to be good for all companies involved. But according to an SEC filing in regulatory filings on Monday, February 8th, 2021, both companies said that they were not in talks with Apple to develop a car, Hyundai and Kia. So there were a lot of rumors around this we had heard in the past, but it seems like either deals fell through or it never actually was going to happen in the first place. These were just rumors. This is a pretty big deal, though. Hyundai and Kia, their stock prices fell pretty significantly after this news. Hyundai was down 6.1%. Kia Motors was down 15% after the news. And this is pretty important because we don't know now what's going to happen with Apple. Are they going to just work on developing their own car? Are they going to find a different partner? Because it's very expensive for them to have to build out the manufacturing capacity to build these vehicles. I'm sure they're going to find another partner, but we don't know who yet. So is this going to delay the Apple car? I think it very well might delay the Apple Car from being developed. It might push back their timeline significantly. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. I'm sure we'll hear within the next few weeks who Apple is looking to partner with, because if they are still looking at an Apple Car, they're going to need to partner with a car company that can manufacture the cars. Apple has the technology. That's what they're good at. They need to find someone who's good at making the cars and has the capacity to manufacture tens of thousands of vehicles a year. So we'll have to wait and see what happens here. I think this is definitely going to push back the timeline, but it's interesting to see that now these reported rumors, they fell through, and that they are not in talks with Apple to develop a car anymore. Next story is with Twitter. Twitter may be introducing a tipping system charge for TweetDeck. Right now, Twitter is looking at multiple ways to become less dependent on targeted ads. Right now, like Instagram and Twitter, their main business, and even Snapchat, their main businesses are advertising dollars from outside companies. And Twitter does not want to be as dependent on these targeted ads. So right now, several teams at Twitter are apparently in the early stages and working and researching on figuring out different approaches of how they can monetize the platform, whether that's through subscriptions or a tipping system where you'd pay people you follow for like exclusive content, like similar to a Patreon where you could, if you follow someone on Twitter, they want to post exclusive content, you could pay them as either a monthly fee or just tip them. That's an option. They've also been talking a lot about subscription model and other approaches that'll give people and businesses on Twitter access to unique features and enhanced opportunities to create exclusive content and have more engagement, more of a community with their fans. This will be interesting to see what happens here. It sounds like it's similar to what's on TikTok. When people go live, you can tip on TikTok with, prizes. But we haven't really seen this with a text-based platform yet. Facebook has done, a subscription model for its creators' pages. They also have ads in for the videos, but Twitter is strictly characters, strictly text. So we'll have to wait and see how that plays out, how they're going to integrate tipping system. I think they definitely could do something with a subscription model like a Patreon. The problem is a lot of the time Twitter isn't based off of, I don't always see it as being like the most valuable content. It's not like a lot of research is posted on there. It's a lot more of just interacting and thoughts, especially if you're talking about like Elon Musk. He just posts like random thoughts and things on there. So we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. It will be interesting. I definitely think they'll find something that does work. They'll have to wait and see. So speaking of Apple, the Apple Car is going to be probably delayed now. We don't know what's going to go on there. All we know is talks fell through with Kia and Hyundai. But Apple is pushing heavily into the VR space. And Apple's former hardware boss is now heading to the VR headset team. Last month, hardware engineering head Dan said that he would leave the job after 9 years in the role for another position within the company. And this is now the position. They finally came out and said that. Apple, they have been reportedly working on a VR headset that will be priced around $3,000, which is 3 times more expensive than the current high-end headset models. But really, it seems like Apple can charge whatever they want for their products, because if it has the Apple logo on it, it's made by Apple, it's automatically more expensive. Like iPhones are more expensive than any other smartphone. Macs are more expensive than any other computers. So their headphones are really expensive. So it makes sense that they would charge about $3,000 for the VR headset. Those are not confirmed prices yet. It's just in the rumor stages. But this is pretty big that the person in charge of hardware for Apple is now moving over to VR. It shows how they are making a significant push into the VR headset space, and that is going to be really their main focus over the next couple of years. They're making large investments in this space, and really it seems like that will be the way of the future. They're going to be pushing heavily into that, and as VR becomes more accessible, it's, smaller, cheaper, I think people are going to start buying it a lot more, and we're going to see that make up a major portion of Apple's sales over the next couple of years. So right now, we've been hearing a lot about stimulus checks, and Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen says that workers earning up to $60,000 a year should receive stimulus checks under the White House's proposed $1.9 trillion stimulus relief package. Currently, the way it stands is a lot of Democrats want to have it, or that $75,000 a year or less price range, and they want to have it similar to the same earnings as the first stimulus check. So what I mean is that if in the first round is if you made $75,000 a year or less as an individual, you receive the full stimulus check. But now Janet Yellen wants to reduce that number. So instead of being at $75,000, they want to reduce that to $60,000. Some Democrats are not happy with this at all, but Republicans are more for cutting down the income requirements. I think personally that they're probably going to end up leaving it at that $75,000 income requirement level, but we may see it reduced a little bit because right now $1.9 trillion stimulus package is a really expensive package that is a lot of money, and a lot of representatives in Congress don't want to be spending that much money. They think it's not necessary. The economy is recovering, and we don't need to spend close to $2 trillion again on a package. One of the last stories of the day that I found really interesting was that a 69-year-old furniture retailer, goes by the name Mattress Mac, placed one of the biggest bets in Super Bowl history and won millions. So he's a Texas businessman, and he's known as Mattress Mac. He placed a bet of $3.46 million on his smartphone using DraftKings, and he won. He said that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers would either win by 3.5 points or lose by 3.5 points. He said either way, that was the bet. And with Tom Brady, and the Bucs clearly winning 31-9, he won the bet, and he said it's a big win for his business, for himself, and it will allow him to give back to his customers. Since he won the bet, he will be offering his customers the opportunity to win a free mattress, and he has done this in the past. This was like one of the largest bets in Super Bowl history, the $3.46 million bet, and with DraftKings making it so easy to do it online, this is a pretty big deal for DraftKings, but this isn't the first time that this guy has placed a big bet in the past. He wagered $13 million that the Astros would beat the Nationals in the World Series, and he offered a similar promotion to his customers as well. But either way, this shows that sports betting is becoming much, much easier. And especially with DraftKings, we've spoken about their stock a lot. They're making it easier for customers to do this. And I think it shows how great of a company DraftKings is right now. It's not just for people who are young. People of all ages are using DraftKings. He's 69 years old, and it's very easy, and people obviously trust it if they're placing multi-million-dollar bets on the platform. Also, DraftKings is an official fantasy sports partner of the NFL. So we'll continue to see how this plays out for DraftKings, but it is exciting to see these big bets being wagered on DraftKings and online through your smartphone. And I got a couple questions in the last episode to do another update on Lucid Motors. So here you go. Lucid Motors, they're still in talks to merge with CCIV, Churchill Capital, have not yet been confirmed. Last time we spoke a little bit about how Lucid Motors said they were doing a Super Bowl commercial. The CEO had spoken about it in a CNBC interview, but that was never actually like a real Super Bowl commercial. It didn't appear in the Super Bowl. It might have been, for this time of year around the Super Bowl, but it wasn't one of the commercials that was shown during the game. They did release a video on their Twitter where they show some of the manufacturing process, things that are going on behind the scenes in Lucid Motors, which is pretty interesting right now. The stock price is well over $30 a share for Churchill Capital. But one thing to keep in mind is you have to be very careful if you are investing in Churchill Capital, because the merger has not yet been confirmed with Lucid Motors. So tomorrow, Churchill Capital could come out and say that they aren't merging with Lucid Motors, and that would cause CCIV's stock price to tank. So just be careful if you are investing in CCIV right now, because the merger has not yet been confirmed yet. It looks very promising, very likely, but it isn't confirmed yet, so just be careful. But really, that's all we got for you guys today. There's a lot of topics. Let me know if you made it this far in the video. Comment down below the word orange if you made it this far in the video, but I hope you guys enjoyed. If you aren't already subscribed to our Clips channel, I post clips from this entire episode on the Clips channel every single day. And don't forget, you can get 4 free stocks, each valued up to $1,600, when you download the Webull investing app using the link down below. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.